I am Anju Agustin. Today, the topic that I am going to discuss is cloud computing paradigms. Let's see what is computing. Computing is the method of carrying out a task using computer technology. Computing must involve a computer system of some kind, whether it could be hardware or software. Here, we are going to discuss about the cloud computing paradigms and some of their types. Go to the topic. Computing paradigms. Technique of linking two or more computers into a network through a local area network in order to take advantages of parallel processing power of those computers. There are different type of computing paradigms. Some of them are distributed computing, parallel computing, cluster computing, grid computing, and utility computing and cloud computing. Let's see detailed in this different type of computing paradigms. And the first one is distributed computing, a type of computing where multiple computer systems work on a single problem. All the computer systems are linked together and the problem is divided into sub-problems where each part is solved by different computing systems. The goal of distributed computing is to increase the performance and efficiency of the system and ensure fault tolerance. This is the pictorial representation of distributed computing, and this is the diagram that shows how it works. Characteristics of distributed system. No shared clock, no shared memory, concurrency, heterogeneity, and loose coupling. Resource sharing, openness, concurrency, scalability, fault tolerance, and transparency are some of the functions. The next is the advantages of distributed computing system. Inherently distributed applications, information sharing among distributed users, resource sharing, cost efficiency are the advantages. And some of the examples are banking system, telephone, cellular networks. Then next computing is parallel computing. It is defined as the type of computing where multiple computer systems are used simultaneously. Here, a problem is broken into sub-problems and then further broken down into instructions. These instructions of each sub-problems are executed concurrently on different processes. This is the picture representation of parallel computing. This is the diagram. Then the next computing system is cluster computing. A cluster computing is a type of computing which a group of independent computers work together to perform the task given. Cluster computing is very simple. A computer cluster helps us to solve complex operations more efficiently with a faster processing speed, better data integrity that a simple computer and they can be used for big data applications involving critical operations. This is the picture representation, the diagram, and Google search engine, ethical simulation software, image rendering, weather forecasting are some of the applications of this computing. High processor power, cost efficiency, high availability, fault tolerance are some of the benefits. There are three type of cluster computing. They are load balance cluster, high availability cluster, high performance cluster. Cost efficiency, processing speed, expandability, high availability of resources are some of the advantages. Difficult to manage and organize a large number of computers, poor performance in the case of non-parallelizable applications, increases power consumption compared to a single server. These are some of the disadvantages. Then next is the grid computing. Grid computing involves connecting geographically remote computers into a single network to create a virtual supercomputer by combining the computational powers of all computers on the grid. This is the picture representation of grid computing. Then next we can see the working of grid computing. Grid computing work by running specialized software on every computer that participate in the data grid. The software acts as the manager of the entire system and coordinates various tasks across the grid. The software assigns subtasks to each computer so they can work simultaneously. After completing the task, the outputs are gathered and aggregated to a complete task. There are three types of grid: computational grid, scavenging grid, and data grid. Next is the advantages of grid computing. It is not centralized as there are no server required except the control nodes which is just used for controlling and not for processing. Multiple heterogeneous machines means the machines with a different operating system can use a single grid computing network. Tasks can be performed parallelly across various physical locations, and the users do not have to pay for them. Then this so Disadvantages of grid computing. Um, the software of grid is still in evaluation state. A superfast interconnect between computer resources is the need of the hour. Licensing across many servers may make it prohibitive for some applications. Many group are sharing the resources. Trouble in the control node can come to heart in the world network. The next is the utility computing. Utility computing, as the name suggests, it is a type of computing that provides services and computing resources to customers. It is basically a facility that is being provided to users on their demand and charge them for specific usage. It is similar to cloud computing and therefore requires cloud-like infrastructure. This is the pictorial representation, and these are the some of advantages of utility computing. The customer does not have to buy the software, hardware, and the licenses that are required to do the business. He instead relies on a provider of these services. The client also is not bur- burdened with administrating and maintaining the system, which is taken care of by the utility computing company. The company has the liberty to subscribe to a single service and use the same software suite throughout the entire organization. The utility computing is also compatible with the especially needed in a large company that have many departments. Each department could be using a different software suite, which makes the files from one department to the incompatible with the software used by another department. Through utility computing, the single service can be used throughout, and the same software suite is used across the department. And these two are the disadvantages of utility computing: reliability, and the system could also be targeted by hackers. Then the last computing is cloud computing. Cloud computing is a method of utilizing on-demand computer services via the network. There is no need to maintain physical servers. Instead, service providers such as Amazon Web Services and Google Cloud Platform provide a user with necessary storage, database, networking, and software. There are three types of cloud computing services: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. And first of all, the infrastructure as a service. It is mean way of delivering computing infrastructures as on-demand services. It is one of the three fundamental cloud computing models. The user purchases servers, software, data center space, or network equipment and run those resources through a fully outsourced on-demand service model. It allows dynamic scaling and the resources are distributed as a service. It generally includes multiple users on a single piece of hardware. Then next is the platform as a service. It is a cloud delivery model for applications composed of services managed by a third party. It provides elastic scaling of your application, which allows developers to build application and service over the internet, and deployment models including public, private, and hybrid. Then next is a software as a service, allow the users to run existing online application, and it is a model software that deployed a hosting service and is accessed over a output internet or software delivery model during which software is and its associated data. Then the type of cloud: public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. A public cloud is a cloud computing in which the infrastructure and services are owned and operated by a third-party provider and made available to the public over the internet. The public can be accessed and used to shared resources such as servers, storage, and application. And the main thing is you pay for what you need. Yes. Then next is the private cloud. A private cloud is a cloud computing environment in which the infrastructure and the service are owned and operated by the single organization. Then the next is the hybrid cloud. The hybrid cloud is a combination of public and private cloud. Then next is the benefits of cloud computing: cost saving, security, flexibility, mobility, insight, increased collaboration, quality control, disaster recovery, loss prevention, automatic software updates, competitive edge, sustainability. That's it. Thank you.